Hey guys, welcome back to the Fat LMAO podcast where we speak on all things fat. How are you today and what makes your day that way? If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and make sure you turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a video by moi. And let's get into it. In today's video, we're basically going to be talking about the F word. And we all know the F word. We all know the O word. We all know that acronym that is used to basically say that we're beautiful, but it's really to use our bodies. So we're going to be talking about words that feel like they're supposed to be bad words, but we're going to turn it into something good, okay? So yeah, we're going to be talking about the fat word, the BBW word, the O word, which is obese, and we're going to talk about how it makes us feel, like, and what's the history of it, why do we feel so bad when we're being called fat, when it's a word to describe us. Let's start off with the F word. And if you don't know by now, I don't know if I told y'all in the last clip, but the F word is fat. So, with the history of fat, it comes from the root word fate or fatty, something like that. I'll pop it up somewhere around here. But it comes from that root word, and it basically meant you're chunky, you're chubby, you're voluptuous, you got curves. It just meant that you were bigger. And back then, in the European times, where I think it was during the French Revolution, if you had money, you were able to afford food and you were able to gain weight. And if you gained weight, that means you had wealth. Like if you were in a bigger body, that means you have wealth. But then, if you eat too much as a person, your body's gonna blow up. Like you are going to end up dying at some point. Like they didn't take precautions when it came to, being in a bigger body. So the more you eat, the more your body's gonna deteriorate, and your habits, if you're just sitting there eating, you're gonna die. You're gonna end up dead. So, of course, the beauty standards are gonna change. The standard of health is gonna change into something smaller. So I think this was definitely after they stole America, but I feel like I need to go back to school for this. So bringing the European, standards into America. Now it's slavery time. As Black people, we're getting taken from Africa. We're coming here to America. Our bodies are more stronger, we're fending for ourselves. Some of us don't make it, and now we're in America. We already know today that Black people have bigger bodies rather than a white person. Now some people are like, no you don't. That is a lie. Black people are built to be more stronger, more bigger, more, yeah. Of course, slavery time, we're slaves, and in comes the mammy culture, basically where they take a female slave and they breed them to create more slaves. Of course, when you become pregnant, you gain weight. And of course, back then we couldn't take care of our bodies back then. Like we couldn't. So therefore, we were bigger. And I'm talking about bigger, not average big, bigger. I could be wrong. Please do not quote me on this. Please do not make me feel stupid about being Black. Please do not take my Black card. I'm just going by what I know. Anyways, so obviously, white slave owners, they were like, I don't want to be compared to a Black slave. So of course, you're gonna be skinny. You're gonna want to have white facial features. You're gonna make sure that you do not look like a Black person. You're gonna make sure that you don't look like a Black slave. So, of course, that creates division to where today's society, nobody wants to. I swear to God, I know what I'm talking about. I just keep, like, I know what I'm talking about. Look, quote unquote, black. When black technically doesn't even have a look, but, you know, there's a specific way that majority of black people look. Again, do not take my black card. I'm trying, okay? Fast forward to the 21st century. In the early 2000s, once again, white people don't want to be compared to black people, so they're going to be really, 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 really skinny. They're going to, you know, have long blonde hair. They're going to, you know, try their best not to look as black, especially when it comes to, you know, being in the film industry, being in celebrity. Like, being a celebrity, you're going to make it where you can get roles, and because you don't look, you know, black. So if you were called fat, then people would get offended. So now it comes to a point where it's like, when you see a big person, like a fat person, I'm scrambling again. It's so much that could be put into this. Like, there's definitely a difference between being white and fat and being black and fat. Like, being black and fat in the early 2000s and the 90s, like, you know, you had titties, you had ass. But nowadays, everybody got titties, everybody got ass, everybody shaking ass, everybody shaking their titties. But back then, like, if you was big, you was badass. Like, you was confident, like, especially when you're black. Like, now when it comes to a white person back then, it's like, no, you're disgusting. You're disgusting. But because black people were so close that it didn't divide us. That I can say from, if you hear all that muffling, shuffling, that's me in my anxiety trying to do this video. I was rubbing the table and I'm like, am I saying the right stuff? Am I saying the right stuff? Like, I shouldn't be saying it if I don't know what I'm saying, but I feel like I know what I'm saying. Like, I keep saying I'm confident in what I'm saying, but I'm not confident. My point of view. I don't know where the discourse came about. I guess it came from, because a lot of men kiss each other's asses, so of course black men are going to kiss a white man's ass, and they're going to basically be like, oh no, because a lot of people like to be like, oh, you know, that big girl, you know, she's for the black man. Like, you know, black men love their big women. And so it turns into black men getting bullied for liking big girls. So of course it's going to be turned around. Like, black men gonna be like, no, I don't like big girls. I don't like big girls. I'm here with this skinny white girl. You know, look, I got power because she's skinny and white. Wow, way to turn on us, fucking DeAndre, bitch. Yes, I'm being fucking racist to you, bitch. Wow, way to fucking turn on us. That is how the F word, I feel like, came about. Now we're gonna be talking about the O word. Now, we all know the O word, which is obese, and it's used in the medical field, it's used outside of the medical field, and it's basically supposed to determine whether your BMI is high, low, it's determined from your BMI. So if you have a low BMI, you're not obese, you're considered average or normal, or you're underweight. If you're over the BMI, over the average BMI, then you're overweight, you're obese, you're morbidly obese, like stuff like that. We all know the BMI is not accurate, or not the best accuracy, and we all know that the BMI does not tell you whether you're healthy or not. Numbers do not tell whether you're healthy. It just tells you how much you weigh and if you want to get smaller or get bigger. I'm not going to get into the history of the BMI because we all know the history of BMI. It came from a white mathematician. And math and science, they correlate, but not, it's to a certain extent. Math just has to deal with numbers and adding, and science is actually digging deep into specific topics like BMI. Yeah. I guess nowadays it's like, I honestly don't understand why people hate being called certain words. Now, with the other word, I can understand, but with obese, it's like all they're saying is just you're overweight. That's literally all they're saying. Like, I guess I'm too far deep into understanding myself that these words don't affect me as much. But I guess it affects other people to the point where they think obese can be compared to the N-word, when no, it can't, honestly. So, yeah. The last and final word, because I have to hurry up and go cook this man his lunch for work. The last word is BBW. Now, back in high school, I had learned about BBW. I learned about BBW when I was in either elementary school or middle school. It had to be middle school. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'm a BBW. I'm a big, beautiful woman. Like, hell yeah. At first I thought it was big, black, beautiful woman. And I think it was. But I don't know anymore. Everything can feel like a Mandela effect. So it's like, I thought okay was spelled O-K-A-Y and not okay. So I'm like, anyways, so me knowing that word, I'm like, hey, I'm a BBW. But we're noticing a shift to me being in high school. So I randomly hear my classmate talking about, oh, she don't like the word BBW because it's sexualizing big girls. So I'm like, that sounds kind of true. Like, I need to get into this. So fast forward to my adulthood, I'm like, oh, yep, she was right. She was definitely right. Excuse me, I think it's them. They were right about, BBW being a sexualization word. Because we now see it in corn where, you got your BBW section. And when you're like on dating apps, and if you're talking to a guy, they'll be like, oh, I love me a BBW. They literally just want to fuck you. I'm not gonna hold my tongue. They just want to fuck you. And I hate when people call me naive, because you're supposed to go into the world hoping that the world is not going to chew you up. The world is supposed to be respectful. So how am I naive for making sure that the world should be that way? I mean, yeah, I believe that it was, but you're forcing the world to be horrible. So why should I do the same thing? Like, I don't know if this makes sense. Yeah, I don't like the word BBW anymore, because, like, you're just trying to get into my pants. That's all you're trying to do. Like, instead of calling me a beautiful queen, you had to add my body into it. Yes, I get that I'm big, but, like, you could just call me beautiful and call it a day. You ain't had to bring my body to it. You ain't had to bring my blackness into it. You could have just said I was beautiful. So that lets me know that you just want to use me for my body. But I digress. As far as like words like being called a cow, a pig, a whale, whatever, like I said before, like, you're calling me a majestic animal. And you're calling me delicious. I'm a pig, I get turned into bacon, and I get ate the fuck up. I'm a cow, I turn into steak, I get ate the fuck up. I'm a whale, I live in the sea, I'm big, I'm strong, and I can handle myself. So what the fuck you calling me all this for, when it just means you're telling me that I'm powerful? But I digress. Anyways, that is it for today's video. Of course, I'm going to be editing this while he's at work. And yeah. If you got to the end of the video, please comment these emojis. And I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't. Oh wait, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Bye. Mwah. I will see you guys later. Before I go, I promise y'all, I am working on this work journal. I'm trying my hardest to stay focused because I got diagnosed with ADHD, and it's like, ugh, and I can't focus. So I'm trying my best for y'all. I promise y'all it'll be out by either the beginning. Nope, I'm not gonna say by the beginning of the summer. Either by the end of the summer, midsummer, or my birthday, which is November 14th. So please look out for my book, While You're Fat, on TikTok. Or if you're from TikTok, please like the videos that I post. Please, yeah. I'll have this out this year. I know I definitely will have it out this year.